I'd like to call the meeting to order. This is September 22nd for the ZBA meeting. Can I ask for a roll call, please?
Carlo Cicciarillo.
Here.
Todd Eichholz.
Here.
Lydia Galante. Here. Sherman Zenny.
Here.
Did I pronounce her last name right, Lydia? Okay.
All right. Can we, do you guys look over the agenda? Any changes at all? Nope. So can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Voice vote, please.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Glad to do that now. Thank you. Okay, the minutes. Do you guys have a chance to look over the minutes? Great. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes for 7/21, year 2021?
Second.
Voice vote, please.
Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So the first ZBA petitioner on the docket is ZBA 21-466. If you wanted to state the petitioner's name, and this is it's a variance to permit for a 4'6", 70% open picket fence in the corner side yard in lieu of a 3 foot, 70% open fence. If you want to.
Yeah. So I just want to state for the record that notification was properly served. Can anyone hear me? Do I have to like yell? Okay. Thank you. So ZBA 21-466 is for 50 West Pine. The Wright Beckys have currently just finished building a new house. It's the corner lot at Pine and Valley. And they're requesting to construct a 4-foot, 6-inch, 70% open picket fence within the required corner side yard setback, whereas the village ordinance requires a maximum height of 3 feet in the front or corner side. In the plat of survey attached, you can see that they don't intend to put the fence all the way to the property line. Instead, they're requesting it to be set back from the property line 4.5 feet, so the height of the fence. And they would only be enclosing 3 of the sides and connecting it to the neighbor's fence to the west of their property. And that neighbor, the neighbor to the rear, submitted a public comment in advance. John Petruk at 49 West Maple stated that he's in favor of the fence. That concludes my report.
Any questions for staff? I have a question in alignment. So is this fence going to line with the existing fence with the neighbor in the back? Because I'm not clear where the property line is. So is that right next to the sidewalk, as tight as the existing neighbor's fence?
The neighbor to the rear, or the neighbor to the
rear,
west?
to the
To the rear, so there's an alley in between them.
Okay.
So if you see in the picture, I think you can kind of see like a car park.
I don't think that, is that a common alley or is that going to the neighbor in the rear?
Yep, it's a common alley.
Okay. So then back to my question, is the fence off the sidewalk or is it up to the sidewalk?
It's 4 foot 6 inches off the sidewalk.
Off the sidewalk.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. And this is a 4 foot. Okay. I don't have any questions.
I have none either.
Okay. All right, I'd like to now open it to public hearing. Can I have a voice? Is it voice or
Motion.
motion? Can I have a motion?
I'll move to open a public hearing.
Second.
Lydia Galante,
Aye.
Todd Eichholz,
Aye.
Carlo Cicciarillo,
Aye.
Chairman Zinni.
Aye. Okay, chair states that notice has probably been served, which you already said. Staff presentation we had, and is the petitioner want to come up and explain anything, clarify anything, or add anything? It looks just like your guys, huh? You got matching masks.
So just one quick clarification there. It's on the corner of Pine and Willow.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, I think everything is pretty much explained in our request. Basically, we've got a large dog.
I gotta swear you in. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Oh, yes, I did.
Good. Okay.
So basically, just to summarize our request, we have a fairly large dog with the proper motivation, right incentives. She can easily leap 3 feet. So to keep her in the yard, we'd just like to increase the fence height to properly secure the dog in the yard and to keep other creatures out that may wander into the property.
Okay, you guys have any questions for
No questions.
petitioner?
I have none.
Okay, we don't have any.
Thank you.
Anything from the audience? Any questions from the audience that they'd like to address? Okay. Okay. Any discussion that you guys would like to have?
I'm in favor of it.
Okay, you're in favor. I have seen no objections based on what we've seen.
I see none either.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion on any conditions. There's none. So we'll make a motion to approve as is.
Motion to approve as is.
Second,
We have to close the public hearing first.
did I close first? Okay, make a motion.
Sorry.
Close the public hearing. We got those reversed here. Yeah.
Oh, they are. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so,
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
thank you.
Second.
All right, roll call.
Lydia Galante,
Aye.
Carlo Cicciarillo,
Aye.
Todd Eichholz,
Aye.
Chairman Zinni.
Aye. Can I have a motion for finding of facts?
Motion.
Second.
Todd Eichels,
Aye.
Lydia Galante, or Carlo Chicharello.
Aye.
Lydia Galante,
Aye.
Chairman Zinni.
Aye. Okay, now can I have a motion for the variance as stated in ZBA, whatever,
21-466.
21 for this. Thank you.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Todd Eichels,
Aye.
Lydia Galante,
Aye.
Carlo Chicharello,
Aye.
Chairman Zinni.
Aye. Okay, you're
Did you guys apply for the fence permit yet? Okay, so you guys can apply for it, and then I'll be able to approve it based on this.
I think you approve everything tonight.
okay. All right, I'd like to move on to ZBA 21-467. This is a this is a motion to have a variance for a permit for a detached garage of 920 square feet in lieu of the maximum size of 768. The Village of Roselle. I want to state that the petition's name and request, and this is, it's been properly advertised. So, I'd like to open a public hearing for it.
Sure.
Have a motion?
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
Lydia Galante,
Aye.
Todd Eichels,
Aye.
Carlo Chicharello,
Aye.
Chairman Zinni.
Aye. Can we have a staff presentation?
Sure. Some of you may remember, at the July 21st meeting, Mr. Koprodowski, the property owner, requested a variation to permit an 1,100 square foot garage in lieu of the 768 permitted in the zoning ordinance. The zoning board of appeals voted to deny the variation request. And since then, Mr. Koprodowski has resubmitted plans for a smaller detached garage. As a reminder, he did have an existing garage that was remodeled into living space, and the current interior layout would make it difficult and more expensive to construct an attached garage, which would be permitted at the size he's requesting before and also now. So now he submitted plans for a 23 by 40 garage. The rear garage door was removed from the plans. And the interior floor area is actually 867 square feet. So it's 920 base, including the foundation. And like the previous request, the garage meets all setbacks. It meets height requirements. And I will go into reading public comment. The first I received was from Ola. She's a resident at 411 Cherry Court and stated that she does not have anything against building the garage. Mikal, who lives at 425 Cherry Court, submitted an email. Due to an upcoming trip, I will not be able to attend the meeting, but wanted to weigh in on the situation. And hopefully this gets mentioned during the forum. I've received several letters regarding the construction of a garage at 275 Park and have taken some interest. I drove by the property and briefly met the owner, Paul Koprodowski. I follow and respect all current ordinances that the village has in place, but I feel in this case, the garage should be allowed to be built. The ordinance was probably established many years ago when it made sense while new construction was being developed. I would like to believe that the Village of Roselle is progressive and would allow for not only improving existing properties, but also to develop new ones. This will ultimately drive the home values higher and match some of the surrounding villages that are allowed to build much larger structures. I have no issue with this garage being built in close proximity to my residence, and in fact, I encourage it. And then 2 more were received. The first one, Dear Village of Roselle Zoning Board of Appeals, thank you for allowing public comments regarding the second petition to approve a variance at the residence located at 275 Park Lane. Below are comments and questions that we would like to have read aloud to the board during the ZBA meeting. As stated at the last meeting, village ordinances should be upheld to protect village standards and property values. This has not changed since the last petition for variance. Variances to village ordinances should be in the exception and not given out casually or based on personal interests. As Mr. Carlo Cicciarillo said at the July 21st, 2021 Zoning Board of Appeals meeting, quote, "We don't want to make variances the norm," unquote. Therefore, please consider what message is being conveyed to the people of Roselle each time there is an exception made to village ordinances. Too many exceptions to the rules means that there are no rules or standards. A community that does not adhere to its stated standards is not the type of community that supports high standards of living. 3, according to the letter provided by the Village of Roselle, the petitioner is asking for a permit to build a garage in excess of the maximum allowed by section 4.08 D1B and quote, "any and all variations as may be required to construct a detached garage." As also mentioned during the previous variance discussion, this request is too big for the village and residents to adequately assess the full impact of the build out of this permanent structure in a residential area. As a neighbor to the petitioner, we would like to request that all variances that are to be waived for the building of the garage under review be clearly detailed and voted on by the ZBA and discussed during this meeting. Number 4. At the July 21st, 2021 ZBA meeting, Mr. Cicciarillo also mentioned that the board often considers homeownership hardship and the request for variances, and that car collections and storage don't create a hardship because there are other options. The zoning board should consider that this factor has not changed with the second petition for a variance on this property. At the close of the July 21st, 2021 ZBA meeting, Zoning Committee Chair Paul Zinni summarized the board position saying that, quote, "the size did not pass. We are not opposed to a detached garage at 768 square feet or attached to the size you want, but it has to be connected," unquote. Mr. Zinni also indicated a concern regarding lot coverage and stated that, quote, "once lot coverage is gone, you never get it back," unquote. In essence, in our opinion, the board clearly indicated that the petitioner should stay within the zoning guidelines when building the garage. Number 6. Unfortunately, following Mr. Zinni's comments, Mr. Todd Eichels made the following comment. "I don't want to speak for everybody, but I would be willing to bet that if it was slightly bigger than what was allowed, that we would allow that as well. It is a dream garage. I totally get it. If you had one side for shelving and just couldn't fit 6 cars, I would vote for that. It would be about 900 feet. I would vote for that. It would be a little bit bigger than what was allowed." In response to this comment, Chair Paul Zinni said, "You want to put us through this again." 2 important issues are reflected in this exchange. A, as a zoning board member, it was not appropriate for Mr. Eichels to tell the petitioner to skirt zoning variances and promise to vote in the petitioner's favor when returning for a second variance review. B, Mr. Eichels' comments did in fact continue to foster negative relationships amongst neighbors in the Roselle community. Rather than moving on and having the petitioner respect the village ordinances, which we believe was inherent in the previous variance denial, we are indeed back here again fighting to uphold community standards and risking even further lack of adherence to standards by the petitioner should this variance be approved. This board should seek to consistently uphold and apply village standards, not to help individuals skirt the ordinances. 7, other zoning ordinances that may be relevant to this petitioner request. A, 7.03 R1 Single Family Residence District, subsection H, detached accessory buildings. a minimum of 5 feet from the side lot line and 3 feet from the rear lot line. These distances shall be increased to the dimension given on any easements which may be located inside and or rear yards contained on duly recorded documents. B, 7.03, R1 Single Family Residence District D2, side yards. On an interior lot, 2 interior side yards have a combined width of not less than 20 feet. Neither interior side yard shall be less than 8 feet. On existing interior lots under 80 feet in width, there shall be 1 side yard of 10% of the width of the lot. The other side yard shall be a minimum width of 9 feet. Sorry. Questions for the zoning board? Please clarify all village ordinances that would need to be waived should the village board grant this variance, and provide the rationale for the need to waive any other ordinances in addition to the size limitation ordinance. For example, will 7.03 and 4.08 be impacted by this accessory building? Please clarify the details regarding ordinance 4.08 B2, 3, and 4, and the impact of proposed accessory building on these ordinances, especially as it relates to the front, rear, and interior side yard zoning requirements. Please clarify whether the proposed structure will impact 4.08 B6 that states accessory building structures or uses shall not be located on or within any utility or drainage easement created by a duly recorded document. In short, as the neighbors most directly impacted by the petitioner's request, we respectfully request the board to deny the variance request and uphold all village ordinances that may be impacted by the development of a permanent garage structure at 275 Park Lane. We also ask the board to ensure that they understand the full measure of the plans for the garage in making the assessment for approval or denial. And then I responded to this resident to clarify some things in her comment. The zoning ordinance sections 4.08 and 7.03. 7.03 D2 side yards only applies to the primary structure on a lot, not an accessory structure. Detached accessory building 7.03H. His garage meets the setback requirements. That's why there hasn't been a variance requested. And he meets all of the requirements for accessory buildings as described in 4.08. There is no utility drainage easement on the west side of the property. And then any and all other variations as may be required is something that is included in all public hearing notices for both ZBA and Planning and Zoning Commission. So if the board discusses something that may require an additional variance, it would, at the public hearing, it would not require an additional public hearing to be noticed, is why that's included. And then there's another one. Let me just pull that up real quick. I.K. Balachek and T. Madon, I apologize if I'm butchering anyone's names, residing at 414 Cherry Court, have nothing against my neighbor, Paul Kopardowski, for him to detach his garage to his property. It's not like he's building something like a nightclub or any kind of bar that people would have to worry about the traffic, drugs, or who else knows what. It's a garage in his property. So I say we give him full permission to build the garage. And that concludes my report.
Any questions from staff at all or commissioners? So just to be clear, he's asking for what size garage right now?
920.
And it's a difference of how much?
It's 16% smaller than what was originally proposed of the 1100.
1100. be 100 square feet above what's actually allowed, 110.
17% larger than
Right.
what's allowed.
Thanks. Okay, no questions at all? The petitioner, did you guys want to come up and add anything or any clarifications?
Good evening. Yes.
Okay, get both you guys at the same time, huh? Okay, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So up you got.
So I'm not sure exactly, if you have any additional questions,
Case, you have their names?
Mhm.
Okay, great. Just want to make sure you have your names are right.
since we've been through this before, I think, you kind of know our stand, we did decrease the size. So it is a little bit smaller, so it's not gonna fit the 6 cars as previously mentioned. It would only fit 4. All the plans I believe that we submitted are according to the guidelines of the Village of Roselle, and we're not planning on building something on a property that does not meet the guidelines in the ordinances. So we're here to ask for the variance. We're not here to go against the rules or change the ordinances. This is how the protocol works, right? So that's why we're here. We're not trying to build something that's completely against the
And
Village
instead
of Roselle
instead-
standards.
Instead of building like a L-shaped garage, we want to just regular garage.
Right.
With.
So I
that's
guess
square
if
footage.
this doesn't get approved the way it's gonna be more of like an L shape, which we don't think it's a significant difference. It would just have one port open without the roof over it.
Since
And
we're gonna
that's,
invest a lot of money to build a garage, we don't want to have like a L-shaped garage. We just want to have 4-car garage since I got, couple extra cars to keep it. So that's the main problem. And we also have a lot of people here that gonna support us.
and it's not only for I know it was mentioned that, the hardship and for the storage of the vehicles that are collectibles and so forth. But taking that aside, we have 2 kids who will be driving within the next 10 years. So we would like to have opportunity to have a 4-car garage. So it just meets our needs. We already have 3 cars that we drive permanently. And in addition to the cars that our kids will be driving soon, there's really no room for storage of collectibles that are now in a storage anyways. So this is really for our personal use more so than anything in addition to it.
And another thing, the only one complaint we have, it's from our neighbor who got 1,200 square feet garage. And he didn't allows us to build a 920 square feet garage, which is a little bit hypocritic.
That's okay. Well, I don't know if you have any questions or need any more clarification or on our end.
So to make sure I understand, the reason you want a detached garage is because that wall that
Correct.
you would attach
We
it.
have our kids' rooms on this
Bedrooms.
side, bedrooms on this side, and windows, only windows. One bedroom has windows only on this side, so
So that means
if we're gonna
there would be-
build a attached garage,
there would be no windows
Yeah.
in one of the kids' bedrooms, which is
Okay,
not.
so then that separation is mainly for ventilation for windows.
exactly. So we're gonna do a sidewalk between and then the garage.
And that would be all within, what's allowed on our lot. We're not asking for any extra room, to make it closer to any lots or, neighbor yards or anything.
Everything is, within our property.
The roof on the new garage, is that going to be the same roof style as your existing
Exactly.
house?
It's
yeah.
gonna match whatever is now, not like the.
It will be
flat
the,
roof. Yeah.
we
showed
don't
a-
we don't have
yeah,
a flat
you
roof
showed a
anymore.
gable.
We have a regular roof right now, so
little
shingle,
raise.
yeah, so it will be the same roof.
Okay.
It will match completely the house.
Okay. Questions?
I have no questions.
I have
for
no
them right
questions.
now.
All right.
Thank you.
Let's open So at this point, is there any audience? Paul, you want to come up?
We can't hear you.
I can't hear me either with this mask on.
We can hear anything they said more.
Not one word.
It's okay.
Okay, the microphones are movable, so I guess if you're talking at the podium, just make sure the microphone is by your mouth. And if there's two people speaking, just one person at a time, and then move the microphone so that the audience can hear. And Chairman Zinni was just asking if the public had a comment.
Or anybody wanted to speak or come up?
Oh, I thought you called me. I'm
Come on up.
sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, you'd filled out a
a request.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you called me or not. That's all.
Oh, well, you're first on the list, you're top, so
Oh, okay.
go first.
Can you hear me okay? Okay. Do I have to? You swear me in or no?
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes. Thank you. Well, since the last time we were here back in July, I just wanted on public record that I received a threatening text from our neighbor here at 275 Park Lane on August 15th. On that day, my son is a Boy Scout, and he's about to become an Eagle Scout. And on that day, we were presenting his project in our garage, and some of the committee members from the Boy Scouts came over, and I didn't know where they parked their cars. I didn't tell them to park them in a specific area of our street. But after the committee members were in our house for maybe about 15 or 20 minutes, I received this nice little threatening text from our neighbor at 275 Park Lane. I didn't say anything at the moment. I've never responded to it or anything, but I just wanted to go on public record that I don't appreciate being threatened of myself and also possibly my family. And so as that meeting progressed with the Boy Scouts and my son, it only lasted maybe a half an hour, 25 minutes or so. When it was over, it was curious how the 3 or 4 people that came over all mentioned that the property to my right, which is 275 Park Lane, of how the property looked with garbage cans visible, gasoline cans visible, just basically material left over from previous projects. And they asked me at the time, have I ever complained? And I said, no, I've never complained. And I felt like telling them right then that I just received a threatening text from him, but I didn't say anything. I was just trying to keep my composure. But as I guess as I received the text up until tonight, as you can hear him still mouthing off back there, you know, I just really don't appreciate it.
You're speaking to the board.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll comment you'll get a chance.
Okay.
for comments.
I just don't appreciate it. And the fact that, you know, the board members are here to uphold the ordinances of our village. And we trust in you that you're going to uphold these ordinances of our village that were voted on, or I'm not sure how they come up, I'm being honest, but you're here to enforce those. And I just feel that we shouldn't break these ordinances or codes unless there is a hardship or something out of the ordinary. You know, whether, I don't think a car collection or storing garbage or trash should be a reason to break these codes or ordinances. And I also like to bring up the point that I brought up last time, which might only affect, it won't only affect myself and my family, but I think it could possibly affect our neighbor's family, is if he puts that garage very close to our garage and creating a potential gangway or hallway that could be not a very secure spot, not only for our family, but for his family as well. He has, like they mentioned, he has 2 small children, and it's just not a secure area if something were like that to happen. That's all I'd like to say. Thank you for your time.
Did you file a police report?
I'm sorry?
Did you file a police report? for
No.
the text?
No, I didn't think about it, but maybe I should. You know, like I said, at the time, At the time, I was shocked.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
just curious of your
Yeah.
level of.
Yeah, I mean, after the meeting, after the meeting we had, when I walked my dog, I still was waving to both the husband and the wife as they drove by, being cordial. But after that text, I'm like, this is crazy. This is nuts. I didn't even park my car on the street, and it's a public street. Even if I did park my car there, it would be a public street. I didn't tell them to park there. And, like I said, just felt threatened, and, I guess it didn't bother me as much at first, but it's been building. And then, I guess tonight, maybe it just keeps continue building, Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Next, Teresa, would you like to?
I had this text message. This is, right?
We go to the microphone so we can hear what you're saying.
I mean, I got this text message right here, and I want to show to everyone if this is any kind of then. From the beginning, when I applied for a garage permit, my neighbor was parking his cars in front of my house to do more traffic. So that's what's in that text message. He got a huge driveway. He got a huge garage, 1,200 square feet garage, and he still parked his cars in front of my house. So if this is something illegal, I'm gonna go straight to the police right now, and I'm gonna show them that.
And I'd like to show this picture of this gun. About 8 months ago.
We need you guys at opposite ends of the room.
Not to be insensitive, but that is 100% a police matter, and
It's not us.
not.
This is not.
Our lane is very
Yeah.
narrow, and what we're here to
This
approve.
was our
Yeah.
conversation about the, that manifesting here. So I have the consent carrier. I got everything legal. So we was talking about that, keeping safe the neighborhood. And I showed them that, I got whatever we have to have, to keep us safe. So this is the compensation.
Teresa? Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
I do. So I'd like to make 2 points today. First, I've heard some people that I know who sit on zoning boards like yourselves say things like they feel that if it is your own property, that you should be able to do whatever you want with it. And they tend to push the limits in favor of the homeowner. But if it was okay to do whatever you wanted with your property, then there would not be a need for ordinances, and we could all do whatever we liked. Ordinances are in place to protect the common good. Second, just because someone asks for an exception to a rule doesn't mean that you have to grant it. Whether they ask nicely or try to bully you into allowing the exception, it doesn't matter. A rule is a rule. In life, I don't get to follow only the rules that I like, and then everywhere I go, ask people to waive the rules that I don't like just because I don't want to follow them. Let me tell you a brief story. My company was recently told to submit a 4-minute video for a presentation, and we thought, oh, I'm sure they would be okay with a 4-minute and 30-second video. Let's just submit that because we want to include everything we want to say. And you know what? They came back right away and told us that we told you that the rules were to submit a video no longer than 4 minutes. So you either edit down the video within these limits or you cannot participate in this activity. And they were right. So we had to change it. This panel is here to grant exceptions to village rules in cases of hardship or perhaps personal and community safety, which is a good example just earlier that we heard about the dog and escaping and personal safety. The exceptions should not be granted just because someone doesn't want to follow the rules. That's not a good enough reason.
Any other audience participation? Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Name and address for the record.
My name is Michael Harrington, Harrington. I live at 231 Park Lane, and I just want to state for the record that I have no objection to him building the garage. I think that it'll do good for the community, our neighborhood, which is a fantastic neighborhood that I've lived in for approximately 5 years. I think it'll actually do a dual purpose. It'll solve the problem that he has with his children in their bedrooms, and also it'll get some of the stuff out of his driveway that he has that'll actually be able to put in to the garage. As a dad, I know he has small kids, bikes, battery-powered machines, all these things you accumulate, and I mean, we'd all love a little bit more garage space. So I think the gentleman should be afforded the opportunity to have that. Thank you.
I didn't sign in, but can I talk?
Sure.
My name is Tony Badamalanta.
I can't hear you.
My name is Tony, but
I can't hear.
that's good. I'll be yelling, okay? This is how I normally talk. Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Because I can't hear anybody up there. I don't know whether your speakers don't work
It must
or whether you talk into it.
be these masks we're
I mean-
wearing. Yeah.
Paul,
Right hand.
my question,
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Name and record.
My name is Anthony A. Badamalanta. I live at 845 Butternut Court, Roselle, Illinois. I've been here since 1965. I was on the village board for many years, and I have a couple questions. I have no objection to the man filing a petition. I could not hear why he needs the variance. I would like somebody on the board to say why he needs the variance. That's my first question. My second question is, when did the side yard requirements get overruled and superseded by this supposedly 5-foot setback? I thought when I sat on the board, and I sat on the zoning board, and I sat on the village board, that our side yard requirements were required. Now, maybe somebody in their infinite wisdom came up with the idea that just because it's not part of the original building, you could go to 5 foot, then why not go to 0?
Yeah.
And my last question is, did he give you a good reason why he can't build to code? He could build a garage on his property and meet code. I've sat there and laid it out. Why does he need to exceed the code by any percentage, whether it's 15%, 17%? I don't follow his drawing completely, but because his inside dimension does not correlate with the outside dimensions. What are the answers to some of this? And I just am curious.
I'll let the petitioner speak to that, so I don't.
Well, no, I don't want the petitioner to speak to it. I would like the plan commission members to speak to it. You guys are reviewing a set of drawings that are presented to you by a petitioner. The petition, I represent both. I represent petitioners, and I've told you the stories I want you to hear. And then I've represented people that were on the opposite, and I tell you the story I want you to hear. I want to hear what you guys want to hear.
And you want to address this question about this?
Yeah, so accessory structures have different setback requirements than primary structures. So anything that's a detached accessory structure has a 5-foot side yard setback and a minimum of 3 feet from the rear yard. That applies to all detached accessory structures, patios, pools, sheds, detached garages, pergolas, decks, anything that is not attached to the primary structure. If the garage was attached, it would have to meet the primary structure setbacks.
Thank you.
And then the other question, why he even needs a larger garage?
Yeah.
I'm going to let the petitioner answer that because I'm on the board and I'm in control of this now, not you. So please come up, Mr. I'm sorry, Kopodowski, and explain your necessity for a larger garage.
So basically the main
Please,
reason
you have
is,
to speak a little closer to this thing. Yeah.
Basically, the main reason is I don't want to build a L-shaped garage, which will be allowed on this spot to build. And I do have a couple cars, collectible cars that I want to store it into it. And basically that's the reason. So if I'm gonna follow the rule, 768 square feet, I have to build an L-shaped garage, and investing that kind of money to build L-shaped garage doesn't make any sense for me. So at least 4-car garage. There's no space to build a 3-car garage like that. I have to build a 2 and 2. So that's the only reason I want to have a 4-car garage. Thank you.
Oh, I see what you mean by cutting out a square foot, cutting out a space. Does that address your question?
You answered my question.
Yeah, thank you. Any other audience?
Hi, my name's Annetta Wolski.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Name and address.
Annetta Wolski at 420 Cherry Court. I would just like to say that I'm all for the garage being built, having 2 kids of my own, and knowing how much storage you do need, and the neighbor complaining about the garbage and all the other stuff being on the driveway. It just makes sense for him to have a big garage. I have a 2-car garage, but barely nothing fits in there. My cars have never seen the garage because of all the kids' toys and ride-ons and bikes. So the bigger the better, and I believe it'll improve the value of the house. And I do disagree with the whole gang situation in between the garages. I mean, I moved here from Chicago and I didn't have problems there, and I don't expect them to have them here especially. And I'm all for it. I think it's a great idea. I live right behind them, and I don't foresee any problems.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other audience?
Good evening.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do. My name is Beth Kellerstein,
Address.
210 East Thorndale.
Okay, thank you, Beth.
I wanted to just take this opportunity to tell you that in our neighborhood, we haven't had the amount of kids that we have now in a long, long time. Our neighborhood is vibrant. It's great to see packs of kids walking, biking. I've been meeting all the new neighbors, and they've been great. And I think it's because we, the village, and I sit on the zoning and planning, so I'm including myself in this. I don't think we do a good enough job at, and it's not necessarily our committees, I'm just saying the village, in policing. I think a lot of this could have been avoided had the village done their job at policing when complaints came in about this property. And there's many others in our neighborhood. What the village is doing is they're pitting neighbors against against each other. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm nervous. I know most of you.
The other side of the podium.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of the podium.
First time we've been sworn in.
I know. And,
Truth.
and I just, yeah, funny. No, I sit up here, I'm standing up here because I do want our neighbors to know that we do welcome them. If nothing, I know I'm not supposed to talk to them, but I want to turn around and say to them, welcome to Roselle, welcome to our neighborhood. And we do appreciate, what they bring, the kids, all of that, the community aspect of it. But like I said, I think a lot of these problems, they start much earlier. We have a neighbor here who's had a boat that she's complained about. And it was resolved. And the boat's been back in front of the house all summer long. Now, it's not her job to keep complaining. It's none of our jobs to keep complaining. But the problem is that the village is not putting the proper amount when someone doesn't move something. Maybe $50, I don't even know what it is, but obviously it's not enough because residents just don't care. So I'm not stating whether I'm for or against. Naturally, I think I don't appreciate the hardship of storing collectibles and things like that. I don't know if I'm skewed because of what I've seen there from the time he's moved in, with tons of cars, license plates not on, big trailers showing up, dropping off cars, working, it's been nonstop. So, I think some of that's in the back of our minds and stuff. But, when you do the fence, we always are granting all these variances. Now, that was a very nice fence, holes, it wasn't a closed structure. But any one of us now has to be open to our own neighbor coming before you and wanting to put a 7-foot fence that's solid. We have to think about when we approve something, that means the neighbor next door might want it. Oh, the neighbor across the street might want the same thing. So, but again, I really want to stress to all our new neighbors that we are happy. I am happy to see their kids, to see you guys walking. Everyone's out talking, getting along, and that's it.
All right, thank you.
Karen, can I ask you a question, or is that closed? Have there been any formal complaints against 275 Park Lane?
No, so I, after the last meeting, had the police chief ask his sergeants to keep an eye on the property during their shifts. And I confirmed with him at the last village board meeting that there haven't been any issues that they needed to cite the property owner for. And they haven't found anything illegal going on that they would need to get involved with.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, any other audience participation?
Hello.
You swear to tell
Dagmara
the,
Kapuska, I swear.
you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yeah.
Yes, I swear.
Your name and address?
Dagmara Kapuska, 255 Park Lane, Roselle.
You can pull it down even more. The whole thing.
Whole thing, yeah. Rank it, there you go.
Okay. So we live in Roselle for 2 years. We have 2 kids as well as Peter and Anya. We are not against at all for them to build a garage. We understand that they have needs for having storage, and obviously everything around the house, whatever they have, they could put to the garage. So that would be awesome. And that's it. We are not against.
All right, okay. Other participation?
Good evening.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Name and address?
My name is Maciej Mozdeniewicz. I am at 265 Park Lane, so the other side of the garage, I guess. Definitely to the lady's point, this is an awesome cul-de-sac. Roselle's an awesome village to live in. Definitely understand both sides of the argument. I think on this particular topic, the garage would alleviate a lot of the issues that have been found, such as the cars, the items left out on the driveways, kids staying, stuff like that. So in the grand scheme of things, I think it would be a positive thing for them to build the garage, be able to store all of their items and just keep that cul-de-sac nice and clean, just the way I think everybody would appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Peter Kamish. I moved.
Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help
Yes.
you God? Thank you.
I moved to this neighborhood 2 years ago,
What's your address?
200 Easterndale. Just to start the story, I completely love it. I love my neighbors. The thing is, I have no objections for Mr. Kopardowski to build his garage. I think he's even spending more money to build detached garage than attached garage because he cares of his kids. So I think it's better for him to have a nice garage than keep all the junks in front of the house, correct? So I would go for it, period. And another thing is, I'm just getting emotional as always. I'm done.
Yeah, take your time. You know, we got all night.
Because you know what, some of the comments were not really right. I had pleasure to meet Paul, the neighbor, great guy. I love him. I feel a little bad because code of the SOC does not bother other people than just pretty much Paul if there is a problem. You know, garage should be built, and that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please come on down. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
Your name and address for the record.
My name is Marcin Kavula, and I live at 216 Park Lane.
I'm sorry.
I live at 216 Park Lane, and I have no objection for Paul to build his garage. About 2 years ago, I moved to the neighborhood, and I moved from Medina, just the other side of the Irving Park. And in one point, I did have 4 classic cars that were parked, 2 of them in the garage, 2 on my driveway, besides the everyday, driving vehicles. So, and I know how difficult it is for anyone to maneuver or to move the cars out and in, or to basically rotate them. So I just think that this is someone's hobby, and the hobby is to collecting cars. And then there's hundreds of thousands of dollars that are parked on the driveway for different conditions, for different weather conditions. And basically, like, especially in the winter times, they're all gonna be parked on the driveway, covered with the tarps. And I think that shouldn't be a problem for him to build a 4-car garage just for his toys. And again, he's a good guy, he's a good neighborhood person, and I think that this shouldn't be a problem. The biggest problem that we need speed bumps on our streets, and we need more signage, because there are some people that are speeding higher than the speed limit on our streets, not to worry about for someone to build a 4-car garage. So we should be more concerned about speed bumps and some other stuff in our streets. Thank you.
Anybody else? Other speakers? Comments? An approach? Okay. This time I'd like to close the public hearing. Right? Then we have discussion, correct? Yeah.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second.
Lydia Galante,
Aye.
Carlo Cicciarillo,
Aye.
Todd Eichholz,
Aye.
Chairman Zinni.
Aye. Okay, discussion among staff. I'm curious, I want to take a straw vote. Where are you guys sitting right now? Up or down? Yes or no?
For me, no.
I'm leaning toward yes, but I'm having a hard time juxtaposing my feelings with, are we actually following the findings of fact?
I'm in favor. I think my biggest issue is we've got a neighbor that has a garage that's 25% larger than what's proposed. That garage is 36% larger than what's allowed. It never, and it wasn't the current owner, it was the people before them, never put that through ZBA, just built.
They were allowed to at that time. At that time, the garage, it was allowed to be built. That's why.
I didn't think that it was allowed that they.
Yeah, that's why this ordinance came in, where we actually limited the size of garages. We were actually getting garages bigger than houses.
Yeah.
So then this ordinance.
And then it became a percentage of the house.
About 10 years ago, that reduced detached garage to a specific size.
Right.
Now attached, like you said, can be.
Can be different.
Yeah. So that's a grandfather.
It's going up next to a garage that is 25% bigger than this.
What's the character of the neighborhood?
I live in the neighborhood. I get it. I get it. I live in the same subdivision. Drive down that street almost every day.
No, it would be in favor, 3-1.
Okay,
And I'd like to see all the crap get off the driveway. I mean,
I agree.
no offense, you're-
Walking
it's
around,
an
I'd
eyesore.
rather have the cars off the driveway.
Or you can hide behind that garage door, the better.
Yeah. Just walking through the neighborhood.
And I think that's gonna increase
that a
home values
hardship?
more than any worry that there's a big garage next to another giant garage that's gonna bring down home values. It's
Yeah.
not gonna be a safety concern. You knock 4 feet off the garage, you still have the alley that's going between the two, so I'm in favor of it.
Yes. No, we discussed that at the last meeting. So it would still be considered detached, even if we had a roofed walkway, because it still would not be considered part of.
If it touched the house, but didn't have an actual opening, it's not considered attached. Didn't see in houses where you actually go outside.
Yeah, there's one on Roselle Road that has like a
You actually-
3,000 square foot garage with a 6-foot breezeway going to a tiny house. And he's got a car hauler and he's got trailers and he's got race cars.
My question is, if I have a garage and I have it, a portion attached in the house, even though I'm not walking through the garage directly into the house, I still have to go outside. Is that considered an
If there's no walls in the breezeway, you guys talked about this at the last meeting, and I
Well, no,
think if there's
It's not a
no,
breezeway.
right, if there's no walls and it's just an opening, then it's still detached, right?
What happens is that's the entry to the garage. Here's the question I'm asking staff. My entrance garage. So it's not a wall. I code it. It's not a breezeway. This is an entry to the
There's
garage.
no wall here.
No, this wall's gone. So
I
that's-
don't think that would be permitted for fire.
Yes, it would. Right back there.
I'm not
It says the
sure.
Wall would be on the other side.
Huh?
Because you're saying this would be the firewall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you could build a giant.
As long as this becomes the entry. I didn't, it's not usually, it's the entry to the garage. My question is, you have to enter through the garage to the house. And I didn't see that in the code.
That's a
Now,
very
That would
good
allow,
question.
that would allow the windows and everything to be exposed. So we got the, it just drops off the plate from us.
Doesn't that open Pandora's box that he can go back to a 1,200 square foot garage?
Oh, that's code's code. It's
Oh.
not us. Yeah.
So it's either follow code, everybody's gonna be mad that the garage is even bigger, or disapprove the 920 square foot garage.
So my recommendation that we table this and get a decision on this before we go forward. I don't think the petitioner understands that that's a possibility. And I don't want to
Also-
present it if it's not
It's,
legitimate.
it's also not your guys' position to design a garage for him.
I'm not.
You know what I
arguing.
mean?
Yeah.
It's, you're being presented with his request to build a 920 square foot garage. And it's,
I understand that.
Yeah.
But you have working sessions with petitioners. So if I table this with the idea that I should approach you again for another solution, would that be a better way to go at this? I'm trying to get harmony between everybody here.
I think that would infuriate the people against it even more, because the garage is gonna grow by another 25%. If we're in favor of approving this or even that, you're better off approving this. It'll be smaller.
Yeah.
Because then you do that design and he 100% can build 1,500 square foot garage by
code, yeah. That's why when I was thinking about this, I was a decision.
And maybe that's what we explain is that you're either gonna have 1,500 square foot garage or 920.
Hey, you guys ready to voice a vote?
Yeah.
You guys ready to vote? Well, it was just, it was an interpretation. No, I just, it was an interpretation of attached garage. I want to make sure I had the right idea.
We're just,
I'm not allowed design. I was just asking for clarification. Yeah.
That's why you have the individual vote.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's why she has an individual vote. And now she wants to vote.
correct.
And we rarely vote 100% unison.
We have said if we do.
Yeah.
Because we have to have opinions. You need some time to think is, sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure. Don't take. These meetings have gone to early mornings sometimes. That's okay.
Yes. I would consider that.
So would I.
I just wanted to be sure because I was confused. I couldn't remember what it said.
So then, with that being said, you want to table, and give them another run at this?
I mean, you can offer it to him.
You have to table it first. I can't do it now.
Okay.
Yeah, right, because it has to be done on the outside. The trouble is then he has, I'm not gonna vote because I don't like it.
Can approve it. Doesn't mean he has to build it. He can go in for permit under that and be 100% in code.
Correct.
So then at least if he chooses not to do that, he's got the approval. We don't have to waste time and bring everybody back again. We should vote on this, and if he chooses to go a different direction, that's fully allowed by code. That's his decision.
If this is allowed by code, we wouldn't need to vote on this. Though.
Correct.
Right. So,
But he may not want to go that route, so we still need to
Right.
vote.
right,
yes or no.
that part I understand.
So I'm looking to you, can we discuss that with them or not? We're not allowed to design, but I just wanted that alternative.
Yes. I mean, I told him to attach the garage by any means necessary.
But I think they were thinking that's going to block the windows.
Yes.
Yeah, this keeps the windows and everything out.
Yeah.
So there's a-
I mean, that's what an architect's job is for, is to.
Last time I heard, yeah.
A good architect.
Pardon?
Good architect.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is all back here. So how do you want a procedure? I do have an issue. Once you start popping it, then everybody's gonna want bigger garages. Aren't gonna have the same reason.
But that's not our problem.
I know, but
If it's
I was on the committee to get the garages smaller because
No, I agree.
we had a monster garage. It was a 2-story.
But it won't fall in our purview, so it's.
And I think too, each case is individual.
Mhm.
You have. The hardships are not always the same for each request. So each request is supposed to be taken individually and considered on its own.
Okay, so let me take a straw vote. And then from the straw vote, let's determine from there if we want to table it or not and bring that back. Okay? So straw vote would be, this isn't binding, just a straw vote. You're saying no?
Yes, correct. No, correct.
No, correct. So you're saying-
Say no.
Yeah. And you're. And you're saying yes. And I'm not in favor of it right now because of the size. But the thing is, you can still get the width that you need. It's the depth. On this is the size of the garage.
bring it to a vote. Wouldn't table it.
I'd like to table it. I want that discussion. I need to know if that discussion is gonna be valid or not.
That means we have to have a meeting.
Oh, not if he comes back.
But does that affect your opinion? If he
Oh, yeah,
can't do
'cause
that,
we would have to vote.
Well, a table, yeah, then we would come back and vote on it. Then might change my opinion, yes, because it won't be doable. But if it's a doable solution.
right, but if,
You'd still have to have the meeting though regardless.
Oh, really?
yeah, that's why if we vote, either approve this or don't approve it,
You
he
have
can
to
always
table
go
it
that
to a
route,
certain-
but at least this is done and we don't have to drag everybody out to do this again.
Okay.
Just because whether we approve or deny doesn't mean that he has to move forward with that plan. He could build something smaller, he could build something attached, he could knock the house down. I mean, we're just voting on that specific item.
Yeah.
And he can always appeal your decision to the village board.
Right. That's the other thing, he can always go above us.
Oh, I thought, okay.
I've done it.
All right, thank you for your time. We had a discussion. I think we're ready now for a vote. And we're gonna move for a vote. So with that being said, can I have a vote on finding of facts? Now, if you vote in favor of the finding of facts, you gotta vote in favor of the petition. Okay?
So moved.
Second.
Todd Eichels,
Aye.
Lydia Galante,
Aye.
Carlo Chicharello,
No.
Chairman Zinni.
No. So can I have a vote for the variation?
I'll move to approve. We have to make a motion, right? Sorry. I'll move to approve the variation.
Second.
Lydia Galante,
Aye.
Carlo Chicharello,
No.
Todd Eichels,
Aye.
Chairman Zinni.
No. The motion didn't pass, but I would like to speak to you after the meeting. And the reason I want to do that, we had some clarifications up here I don't think yet you're aware of. So I'd like to present that to you. Okay?
So even if there's a tie.
Zero. See, I always thought if you had a tie. Okay. He doesn't use it. I'd like to open up ZBA 21-467. ZBA 21-467. Eight. All right. I believe you. This is 7.
Oh, I could have not changed it on your.
Or
paper.
68. Thank you. You're killing me.
I know, sorry.
Okay, let's make sure I got the right thing here. It's for Robert and Jennifer Black at 890 West Pine. It's a variation to permit a 6-foot privacy fence in a corner side yard in lieu of a 3-foot, 70% fence that's required. I'd like to open the hearing, have a vote to open the hearing.
Motion. Second.
All right. Carlo Chicharello.
Aye.
Todd Eichels,
Aye.
Lydia Galante,
Aye.
Chairman Zinni.
Aye.
Thank you for your patience.
Okay, and public notice is probably properly served. With that being said, can staff give us a presentation?
Yes. So the last agenda item tonight is also for a fence within the corner side yard. The property is at the corner of Pine and Menching. They currently have a privacy fence that meets all setbacks required for privacy fences. You can see it in the photograph. The Blacks originally approached me because they plan on doing additional improvements in the yard. You can see there's a proposed in-ground pool, and some additional patio work. And they would like to enclose a bit more of the corner side yard into the rear yard with by extending a 6-foot privacy fence. They are, again, not proposing to extend it all the way to the property line, so it would not be up against the sidewalk. The red line is my very, very, very approximate location of where it would be. So it would be set back between 5 and 7.5 feet from the property line. So it doesn't affect the site triangle. I did note in the staff report, it would still sort of, it goes back towards the front, the required front yard for his neighbor on Menching. They received notification. And I believe this is the only public hearing tonight that did not receive a public comment in advance. So I have to assume that the neighbor has no issue with the fence being located where it is. And you're here? Yeah. Okay. So maybe she can confirm or deny that position, but that concludes my report.
Okay, let me make sure I'm on the right page here, as they say. So would the petitioner care to come up and explain, add or explain anything? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
You?
And a person in back?
Sorry, yes.
We'd, you have their name and, great, thank you.
This is really about safety, so I don't feel that a 3-foot, 70% open fence this Menching is a pretty busy street. There's a lot of people walking on the sidewalk. We have 2 large breed dogs, and 2 large breed children. So I'm just not sure if like safety for my children, my dogs, as well as the public, we could move a 70% fence all the way out the sidewalk, and I just don't know if that would be the proper thing to do. So moving it back 5 to 7 feet, I think allows visibility for Lucy, our neighbor, to get to see the stop sign, and I think it'd be safer for everybody. She's not gonna say anything.
Oh,
Is there anything you would like to add?
no, I think that was.
Any questions from commissioners at all?
I just have one question. So you've got a row of trees down Menching that I noticed. Which side of those trees is the fence going to be built on? Street side or house side?
The fence is gonna be on the house side of the sidewalk.
It was going to be
Or on the tree. So this tree you see right there, that's near the corner.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to see. So the fence will come to the back of the house, and then the whole front of the house still is another 80 feet of yard. I don't know. No, 60 feet of yard still to the stop sign.
Yeah.
About.
Okay. And then my final question is, we had 2 numbers there. It was somewhere between it was a 5-foot setback from the sidewalk and then 7 feet.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
I just picked 5 to 7.5 feet because we haven't really drawn out the plans yet. I was hoping that if you guys didn't like it, I would go 7.5 feet if you liked it.
Well, how tall is the fence
It's
going to
gonna be
be?
6 foot.
So,
And the grade is kind of down.
yeah, we're visiting the site. It'd be the only fence that's really sticking out in the road there, says I drove it, so. Yeah. Okay, any questions from commissioners at all?
No.
Would you be opposed to a height setback equal to the height of the fence?
Sure. 6 feet.
6 feet, yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
If we can add that caveat, I would be more prone to.
This was mine, yeah, so there's a proportion. Okay. I don't have any other questions. Nope. Any audience? Yes, ma'am.
Need to open it.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Your name and address.
Lucy DR, 890 Menching Road. I just came out tonight to find out, first of all, they already have a 6-foot privacy fence, and I was wondering how much they were going to extend it because it, if they extend it all the way to the sidewalk, that definitely would be a no-go as far as I'm concerned. And I didn't know if they wanted to extend, fill in more of the side yard in front of the house or just, so I guess I'm just really curious how much of the yard they're gonna fence in. If I could get clarification on that.
So if you look at the plan on the screen, there's a parallel line to the sidewalk along Menching Road there. That's how far, so that's where the existing fence is sort of like so it's from the back wall of the house still. They're not enclosing more of the side yard near the front.
No,
of the
just the
house.
back, the rear yard, but more of towards the side.
Yes.
Okay.
So it would be taking the existing fence and just pushing it out another 15 feet.
15 feet-ish. Okay, well, I do appreciate the front sight lines, that we have. You walk outside, you can see down the street both ways, and I kind of appreciate seeing that view now. And I have reservations about backing out of my driveway and trying to see past the, see down Menching, because it's kind of a busy street to back out. And also making the turn on Pine. If it's not coming up to the front of the house, then it's probably not as much of a restriction.
No, we don't require that.
Because I understand what they're saying when you're back
Yeah.
out, if you're a driver and you got a 6-foot fence, you want to make sure you can look down the road.
Yes.
And the reason I like the 8 foot away, you see pedestrians, I think what she's talking about cars, so. You have no way of checking that, do we?
No, that's not a requirement in the code, so.
Can I just get clarification on which home you are? Are you the home that sits behind this one?
Right, where the fence would come into my, up against my front yard. I face Menching
She's here.
So if she's backing.
directly.
Yeah. So the question is, the fence gonna, like she's backing out and you're sitting in a car, are you gonna be able to look down the street? Does that make sense? It's a good question.
So this is her driveway.
This is the petition.
No, this is Lucy's driveway.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And this is where the fence would be located. It's kind of there.
Yeah, so we're asking for it to be 6 foot. Is the property line this side of the sidewalk?
Yes.
So we're asking to be 6 feet back here. So she's backing out. She can-
Is this the petitioner's tree in this picture and Mrs. Danner's?
Is the tree in your front yard or is it in there like?
Which tree is that? This tree here?
No, the one.
I have a picture here.
Yeah, that's Lucy.
This tree.
That's her driveway.
Yeah, this is her driveway. So is that her
That
tree?
is her.
That's not your backyard. Okay, thanks for
And then I
clarifying.
took another picture on the other side of the tree, you can see the other trees in my yard that are blocking the sidewalk.
Okay, so that's your yard.
That's the
No,
Lucy- that's the
your
Lucy
yard, your
side.
trees are on the corner by the stop sign. Okay, thank you.
That's all I really have.
Thank you. Guys, I don't have an answer for that. I don't know the distances. Wish Norm was here. Is that Norm?
That's who did it last time, I think.
You already have a ton of line of sight being blocked.
Yeah, do we think the fence is gonna be worse than that tree that's right there?
You got your 6 feet past that, then you got a 4-foot sidewalk, and then you got a 10 to
Well, is
12.
the fence gonna be on the inside of that tree? That's, the answer was yes, right? Is that the tree we're talking
There's
about?
there's actually no tree. That's not a big one, just that.
Correct, that's the neighbor's tree.
Right,
So
so.
Yeah, right.
Our
Okay,
sight line's
but-
already kind of,
So is the fence gonna be behind that tree?
Here.
Karen, can you put up the picture that you guys are looking at up there? I can.
So I'm just on a Google map. It's really my own.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't wanna cut down trees.
And so this tree here that we're looking in this picture, that's near the stop sign. That's 5 feet from the sidewalk.
yeah.
That's why I like the
Yeah.
It's usually, yeah, you'll be about 20 feet total away from the street.
I'm happy I took
And
all
set further back.
Do you have the keyboard? Oh, you have the keyboard. Can you go to the homepage? I was wondering how you're doing that.
Locking it
A lot easier.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank
that's why
you.
we have the 4-foot fence, guys, when you're that close to the edge, so you can see over.
No, you typed it right.
Taller fence, that's-
I'd rather them have a taller fence.
It's not working.
I
If
can-
they put a pool
It's
in,
very helpful.
Sorry.
or like a pedestrian, or like I go to that park with my kid, I'd rather a taller fence.
Right.
We
Or
need to
like-
just change the amendments.
Oh,
We did
GIS and that.
Fence meetings all the time. Like, they can change that. Whatever we agree.
Oh,
on.
yeah, no, I'm just gonna pull up the agenda packet real quick.
I would like to know that business card is something that we should be using.
Okay.
This is the one.
Share screen. This.
In this case, yes. Not always, but in this case, yes. Especially since it's space different.
Okay. So if you want to
Yep,
scroll.
and so I took a couple pictures like from ground level, from,
Delay on it, so if you look at the computer screen.
Oh, yeah.
oh, okay. I took a couple pictures from ground level, from eyesight, from a car, you know, as you're driving from a car, and I took from 5'10". So this is obviously from ground level. So this is looking at the stop sign. If you're at the stop sign, stopping at the line, the white line, looking to the right, that's what you see. The tree to the farthest tree to the left here, that's 5 feet from the sidewalk, and then these other trees are,
That's your existing fence behind it, right?
yes, you could barely see it, right? Like it's.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, wrong way, sorry. Again, I just went a little bit further out just to give a better picture so you knew what it was. So this is from the other side of Lucy's driveway, and this first tree here, this tree is about 6 feet from the sidewalk. That tree. So I think you got 2 trees in front there, right?
Right. 2 feet.
One's a little bit further set back next to the Explorer. And then this tree here that's kind of in the middle. And then we have our 2 trees as you get closer to the telephone pole. And so this is the look straight down the sidewalk. And I think I also did this look 5 feet in. So this is about 5 feet in off of the sidewalk.
So the 15 feet, would that be like where my garage is? My
It-
garage comes out to the front of the house.
The fence will probably come to where that tree is. It'll pop out to where that tree is.
That's further than my garage, but.
Yes. Yes. And then just from a couple different, I just took a bunch of pictures. This is from standing in the driveway from the ground.
So it would be kind of where that tree is
Correct. Yes.
is how far it would come out.
Yes.
If you could see that tree from Lisa's driveway, then you could also see the side.
Right.
Okay, so you're gonna be like
Especially with the
6,
branches
7
coming
feet off
close.
the sidewalk, actually,
Yeah.
not on the sidewalk.
No, it's not on the sidewalk. Okay, and it's just a bunch of the same pictures from different angles.
How far is the corner of the fence from Lucy's?
Right now, the fence is right on the property line between our houses.
Her driveway's on the other
Okay, so
side of
she's
the
got a
property.
lot of
Mhm.
distance there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how long do you think your front yard is, Lucy? It's about 30, 40 feet?
I can do a quick measurement.
I know.
I don't know.
I think it's about that. That's the normal plot, I think.
I think I am too. When you, as you're in your driveway and you go to back up, can you see that tree in the bottom picture?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, fence
Yeah,
is
we don't
fine
want the
with that,
fence
but it's-
going beyond that tree, so we have it 6-foot setback.
Right.
Okay. Carol, you want me to close this or something?
Oh, you can just leave it open.
Okay. Any other audience participation? All right. Like to make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second.
Second. Roll call or vote?
Carlo Chicharello.
Aye.
Lydia Galante.
Aye.
Todd Eichholz.
Aye.
Chairman Zinni.
Aye. No discussion? Any discussion?
Wait, our vote is with the 6 foot setback.
Yeah, it'd be findings of fact with the 6 foot setback.
Okay.
From the property line.
Okay.
All right, with that being said, can I have a motion for a finding of facts with a condition that it's a 6 foot setback from the property line?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Carlo Chicharello.
Aye.
Lydia Galante.
Aye.
Todd Eichholz.
Aye.
Chairman Zinni.
Aye. Have a motion for the variance for ZBA 21-468
So moved.
Second.
with the findings of facts with the 6 foot setback.
Lydia Galante.
Aye.
Carlo Chicharello.
Aye.
Todd Eichholz.
Aye.
Chairman Zinni.
Aye. Okay. So it's been granted with a 6 foot setback.
So you can just apply for a permit now and I'll be able to approve it. And you have 6 months to apply for the permit before the variance expires.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Pardon?
Motion to adjourn.
I have no old or new
You don't have
business.
motion. You have any?
Other than welcome Lydia.
Thank you. It's my first in-person meeting.
It's a fun one, huh?
Yeah.
Good one. Okay, well, welcome. Any old business? New business? Okay, what about next month? We have petitions out there?
No, not right now.
Okay, great. So then can I ask for a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
You wouldn't mind